Auto sales plummeting versus a year ago when the government's Cash for Clunkers program was up and running. Here now first on CNBC with the exclusive release of his dealership's monthly numbers, MikeJackson, who is the chairman and CEO of AutoNation. And Mike, it's great to see you this morning.
Becky, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. We saw those numbers come in yesterday, and it was a bit of a surprise. They looked a little weaker than some people expected, and it certainly looked weaker than what we'd been hearing from you over the last couple of months. What have you seen at AutoZone in particular? Did it match those monthly sales yesterday?
Yes, and of course you meant to say AutoNation, not AutoZone, but we retailed 18,000.
Mike, excuse me, I'm coming back from being sick. I'm trying to catch up.
Yeah, and I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you.
We retailed 18,700 units in the month of August, which is down 17% from last year, and of course is our worst August ever. So you may ask, how can I still be smiling? Well, that number has to be put in the following context. August of 08 was the last recessionary month pre-Lehman Brothers crash, pre-Great Auto Sales Depression. So on September 15th of 2008, our world changed. And then as far as comparing with the August of last year, of course, that was the number that was spiked with Cash for Clunkers. So if I remove the clunker sales from a year ago, our sales are actually up 17% for the month of August, year over year. Then you would say, well, how are you doing sequentially compared to July? We're down about 7% from July. But then if I look at the reporting calendar with the manufacturers, there's a big difference in number of days. And since we're open 7 days a week, it's easy to do the division. And compared to July, on a daily selling basis, we are up 8%. So my point of view is that what I've been saying all along, the gradual industry recovery is still underway. It's rational. It's disciplined. Everybody is profitable at these levels. It's going to take more time, but it's still underway. And I can't wait for the comparisons with September, because then we're going to have the absolute opposite story comparing with September of 08 and September of 09.
Mike, it's Mike Holland. It sounds as if you're not reflecting in the last weeks of August here what we're hearing from some people in the retail trade, that the back to school, for example, the last few weeks have been really pretty crummy, not just because it's been hot, but because people are holding on to their wallets more. It sounds like you're saying that things aren't quite so bad as that sounds.
What we've seen, Michael, is a real sensitivity around sales events and holidays like never before. We had a pause in sales before Memorial Day, and then Memorial Day weekend was unbelievable. End of June went into a valley, and then we hit the 4th of July weekend and sales boomed. Yes, the end of August was soft, but we're coming up on Labor Day weekend, and I think we're going to see the same phenomenon. Buyers are extremely price sensitive, extremely deal sensitive.
Well, that's confirmed
overall,
with the...
though, as far as this...
I was going to say, that's confirmed
overall,
with the...
if I look at the recovery trend, here's the critical factor. We have more demand, still have more demand than credit. And this is real replacement demand. There's very little extravagant spending they really need to replace this car. And the gap is on the down payment. And we have literally thousands of customers who have told us they're saving for the down payment that's necessary in this environment, and they'll be back. And that's sort of healthy. So if I look at that forward, the savings rate and the down payment gap, which will both gradually narrow, I'm confident this recovery will continue to take place in autos.
It does sound like a better scenario than what we'd seen in years past, but what kind of incentives have to be offered to get people to the table, Mike?
Well, incentives are the same as the month of July, and they are, from the manufacturer point of view, they're up slightly from a year ago. But if you're out there without incentives, the customer is immediately going to move on. And the customer is shopping multiple stores to try to find the most attractive deal. There's no getting around the fact that this consumer is really squeezing every penny and every nickel, and it will go to great lengths to find value. And I think retailers just have to accept that reality. The point, though, is that the industry at these levels of sales with this type of buyer is profitable at the retail level, the supplier level, and the manufacturer level. And that is an unprecedented revolution for our industry and really bodes well for the future as, again, the volumes continue to recover over the next couple years back towards 13, 14, 15 million units.
All right. Once again, Mike Jackson of Auto Nation. Mike, you forgive me for my slip up at the beginning?
Becky, I would forgive you for anything.
Well, thank you.
Good seeing you this morning.
It's great seeing you. Thanks for coming on, and we'll see you at least next month if we don't see you before then.